Hello and welcome to the video. This is about this thing here. This is the TinyHawk 2 Freestyle FPV racing drone. Now I have had its baby brother in here a couple of weeks ago. This is the EMAX 2 race. These TinyHawk 2s are fantastic little models and I love the race. So I was fascinated to get in this Freestyle, which is a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier, 2S capable, larger props, bit more power. And the wider wheelbase also means that it is absolutely more designed for freestyle pilots that like their flippy floppy. So while I unbox it, let me go through some of the specs. Now this is about 150 millimeters. Maximum size of the aircraft without the antenna is about 143 by 137 by 23 millimeters. Aircraft weight without the battery and propellers is about 49.1 grams, but even with the battery and propellers you're well under that. Nice to see that there are spares in the box of the props as well in case you accidentally bend one. They are Avian Rush 2.5-inch propellers. A couple of bits inside the box here so you can get hold of the manual. There's not an awful lot you need to know. I'll show you the Betaflight setup and everything in a minute. Motors on this are TH1103 7000 kV units, and the main flight controller is an F4 based Maytech F411 RX firmware version. So this has the SPI receivers on here. So unfortunately the best option is going to be using D8, or if you're going to use D16 then turn off the telemetry option from your radio to give yourself the best option. I'm not a massive fan of these inbuilt SPI receivers, but you can get to the USB port nice and easily without messing around. The way this is put together is absolutely beautiful. The way the frame is slotted together, the way the little Runcam Nano 2 camera sits at the front is just absolutely gorgeous. VTX transmitter is 2500 and 200 milliwatts capable, 37 channel, and in here you get a couple of batteries, 450 milliamp hours, which will give you about 3 minutes of flight time, a little charger, which is terrible, but if you haven't got anything else it'll work, and a bag of spares. In that bag of spares is the screws you're going to need to attach the props. So let's install it into Betaflight and let me show you how it comes. Now what I'm going to do at the end of this, I'm also going to do the dump and diff commands, and I'll put a link in the description. So if you have one of these and you've lost your settings or you're not sure how it's all going to work, link below so that you can have a look at that. I'm going to enable expert mode in here and just run through and have a look. So everything's all nice and working. Ports look like that, so just VTX Smart Audio for the onboard VTX. D-Shot 600, alignment is like that. 8K gyro and PID loop frequencies. CPU's working a little bit hard, but then it is an F4. So this is definitely tuned to be a freestyler. Battery and power look like that. Failsafe is set to drop, which is exactly how you're going to want it. PID tuning. The PID tuning on this is very nice. I'll show you how it flies in a minute. If you are an advanced pilot that likes freestyling, no doubt you come in here and have a bit of a play. So this is what it looks like out the box, and it's a very good basic tune for this model. Receiver looks like this, and then the mode straight out the box look like this too. Now I'm a big fan of this because this is how I set mine up. Angle in the low position, horizon in the middle position, and in the top position go for acro. Flip over after crash you turned on, beepers turned on. It's really nicely done. Now you're probably going to have to come into the on-screen display and move things around, but apart from that everything is pretty much set. Now there are two ways to bind the model to the radio. One is by pressing the little button on the underside of the flight controller, and I found that easier to use than using the command in the CLI. So the setup was really quick and easy. I'll put a link down below to my video on Betaflight bind and fly setup, but there's very little you have to do. So with it bound to the radio, how does it fly? Well, it's an EMAX TinyHawk. It's gonna fly really well. EMAX do put an awful lot of time and effort into this, and this one is no exception. Now with the 2S setup you are going to get about 3 minutes of flight, potentially a little bit less if you fly it like you stole it. Now the hover point on this, just to give you an idea of how much power this little fella has, this is hovering here at 15% throttle. So at -70 on an open TX radio, that is where it's hovering, which gives you an incredible amount of power. Now, I wouldn't fly this in angle mode. If you want to fly it in angle mode, I'd actually get something else. But if you want to fly it like freestyle, so horizon, or ideally just get rid of all that stuff and just go for your acro mode or rate mode, then this is going to be incredible fun. The camera performs really well and it flies absolutely beautifully. So in summary, what do I think? Well, there's an awful lot to like about this. If you're a freestyle pilot, this is going to be a fantastic option if you're looking for something that isn't a toothpick that's sub 250 gram limit. 15% hover point just shows you how much insane amounts of power in here. If you want to flip and roll and get in and out of trouble, this absolutely has the power to do it. Only a couple of things to be aware of, really. First of all, is there is only 3 minutes of flight time on those batteries, so definitely get yourself some more of these, and get yourself some kind of field charger as well to keep them charged up. The supply charger is incredibly slow, so you're going to have a great 3 minutes flying it around and then wait another hour to get your batteries charged up. Do remember to use linear antennas on your goggles for your best possible experience. It is a linear antenna on this, potentially not the best option if you are going to be flipping and rolling, but that's what it's come on it. And my last point is, if you are more of a learner or you like more sedate flying and just flying at speed without all the flipping and flopping, then something like the TinyHawk 2 Race is probably going to be a better option. But this absolutely gets the thumbs up from me. Thank you for watching my video and watching right to the very end. If you want to find out what I'm currently working on, you can follow me on social media by searching for Painless360 in the usual places. If you'd like to become part of the inner circle, then you can become a Patreon. Details are in the description and you get lots of additional benefits. Check out the playlist section on the channel too. I organise all of my videos into playlists and it's called something like Introduction to or for Beginners. All of the content is aimed so that you can start at the very beginning and it teaches you that subject, starting with simple principles and moving up to teach you everything you need to know.